The Chuck Knoxx Show. Don't go to bed Mondays without it.
And holy shit. Welcome, Giants fans, to the Chuck Knoxx Show, the post-game show, as the Giants have just defeated the Jacksonville Jaguars just minutes ago, 23-17 on the road to go 6-1 with one of the most incredible finishes I have seen in a long time. If you haven't already, I put out a reaction video. The full one is coming out later tonight or tomorrow. I lost 20 years, if not more, after this game tonight. I don't even know how to describe what we just witnessed at the end of that game. But before I go into and break down here and a ton of emotions, and let's recap this game because we got to get to how we got here. Right off the bat, you could tell the Giants came out looking absolutely sharp. Right off the bat, you have a first play to Slayton. Slayton's getting involved right away. Big first down. Dimes is clearly from the very first opening drive, the center point of the offense, passing his ass off. I think the opening drive, he had 7 passes. And what was it, 1 run, 1 to Barkley? But Dimes hits Slayton with a 32-yard touchdown bomb. Right off the bat, the Giants are up 7-0, which snapped a 14-game streak where we have not had an opening drive go for a touchdown. But on the flip side of that, the Giants defense immediately, you could tell this was going to be one of those games where we were just going to give enough, stop just enough to give us a chance to win. Because right off the bat, the Giants defense looked like they were not going to be able to keep the Jaguars off the board. The Jaguars immediately respond, driving down the field, running the ball down the Giants' throat. Trevor Lawrence looks like he's going to match Daniel Jones. And they immediately respond with a touchdown. And right there, the gutless coward himself, Doug Peterson, decides to try and match balls with Dayball and goes for a 2-point conversion, and they get it, and the Jaguars start out 8-7. At this point, I'm livid because now I'm under the understanding that Doug Peterson's come here to play. Okay, Doug. We see you. So the first quarter, that was it. That was the scoring there. 8-7 first quarter, Jags up by 1. You can tell this was going to be a boxing match between two head coaches. They're just going to lay their nuts out on the table. And right off the bat from the second quarter, Jaguars continue to drive the ball into the second half, eating the clock up. And then we see our first sighting. Landon Collins comes up huge on a third down to stop Jacksonville from extending the drive and forces the Jaguars to go for a field goal. And they're up 11-7 at this point. And you're expecting the Giants to respond, and the first response right off the bat, and then immediately Evan Neal goes down. And I'll just do full disclosure. I don't know any updates on these Giants injuries, and we had a lot of them. But no one, more importantly, Evan Neal at first being the worst of the Giants injuries. But Evan Neal walks off the field, and then he's later carted out to the back, and he's out for the game. Jones keeps responding later. Now he's down 2 offensive linemen at this point, and he's out, already coming to this game without whoever knows on wide receiver. Marcus Johnson was very disappointing today. I've been on this guy calling him the Amazon driver, and he may have to go back to delivering packages after today because later on, I think he dropped 1 or 2 big first downs. But the Giants get enough to go for a field goal. Gano puts the Giants on the board, 10-11, Giants trailing by 1 in the middle of the second quarter. And it's looking like after that, the momentum might be in the Giants' defense favorite, 10-11 here. Giants hold them. Then we have a situation where the Giants put the Jacksonville Jaguars in a 2nd and 25, only to convert it, which was very frustrating. And before you could blink, there you go. The Jaguars are in the red zone with a huge run up the middle from ETN. And so right there, the Giants, looks like the Jaguars are going into the end zone until McKinney pops the ball out. I think he knocked the ball out of the running back. I don't know who had the ball at that play. Like I said, I lost my mind at this point. Julian Love recovers. Massive play by the defense here, creating a turnover and what looked like it was going to be a momentum shift. And then the Giants are driving the ball down the field, and here comes the next big injury for the Giants as Bellinger, what initially looked like a hand, had got to his eye. He wasn't grabbing his head. He wasn't grabbing any part of his head. It looked like inside his face mask. Didn't grab his lower body. And those of you who are listening to this, I'm sure the update has been out since then. But he left the field, and he was gone for the game. Giants come up short. Then again, you're thinking the injuries are starting to stack up here. Are the Giants going to be able to overcome this? They settle for the field goal with 28 seconds left. Gano puts the Giants ahead, 13-11. And at this point, right now, Jones going into the half had 169 yards and a touchdown at the half. So going into the half, you're 13-11. This looks like it's going to be the exact kind of game that we would like to have. And immediately coming, the Jacksonville Jaguars get the ball in the second half. ETM again, big 49-yard run. And all of a sudden, right before you know it, the Jags are in the red zone. And the defense at this point looks like they're real. It looks like they're backpedaling at this point. Jaguars take it all the way down to the goal line, to the red zone. And Trevor Lawrence jumps over for a quarterback sneak up the middle. And the Jaguars at this point now are on the board again. But another huge play from special teams as the Giants block the extra point and makes this a 17-13 game. Jaguars up middle of the third quarter. But what a monumental play by the special teams again. And I always talk about it in every play or every hype video each week, how all three layers of the game, somebody's number is called and somebody is asked to make a big play, and they do. And there we go. That was a huge play right there to help the Giants out. Giants get the ball back. Jones throws a really shitty pass up the middle, and it's intercepted, but it gets negated as there was roughing on the quarterback, and that gets erased off the board. So Jones still doesn't have a turnover in this game. Now here's where it got really frustrating for me because the Giants go all the way. They're at the doorstep, can punch it in here. They go for it on fourth down. Of course they're going to. Of course Daboll is going to go for it. And the Giants, Marcus Johnson, this was the other drop. Now he was absolutely blanketed here, and he was rocked before he could even get a chance. The ball was kind of swatted out of his hands. But it was a catchable ball at the goal line. And the Giants come up short. Now, the defense at this point had no choice but to keep the Jaguars back into the goal line. Because if not, if they're going to drive down now, if you can't stop them here, then we're fucked. But the Giants defense comes up big, stops Jacksonville right there with their backs against their goal line. And with that stop, forcing the Jaguars to punt, you got a third quarter ending, a 17-13 lead for the Jags. And I am thinking, here it is. This is the exact game that we needed to have down here. A game where we can control the fourth quarter. Despite all of the injuries, despite guys just dropping like flies, this is the exact kind of game that you know the Giants can have. This is the kind of game that we win. And at this point, the Giants stopped the Jags, started off the fourth with another fourth down, fourth and goal. Giants get the ball back. Daniel Jones busts off a big-time 24-yard run, which sets up another huge drive. Giants are driving with another big explosive run by Barkley with 6 minutes to go that carries the Giants right into the red zone. So at this point, you're at least going to get some points off it. And that's what the Giants do as Daniel Jones with a quarterback sneak for a touchdown. 20-17, Giants go up with 5:31 left in the game. Exact kind of scenario that we had hoped we could get into late in the fourth quarter, and there we are. And now things are about to get really insane. Jaguars start to drive on a huge third down, and Dory Jackson with a nice swatted pass, clean play, no pass interference. We get the ball back with under 4 minutes now, 4:45 left, 4:40. Giants get the ball back, and it's the Saquon Barkley show at this point. It is Saquon down their throats, and you could see the Jaguars at this point are the wear and tear from the sun and the momentum, and now it's the Barkley show. As Jones has for 3.5 quarters at this point, losing offensive linemen, already out there with nobody at wide receiver, loses his trusted tight end, and now it's time for the Barkley show. But before that could start, Jones, again, huge first down. On a third down, gets the Giants into the red zone. I think this was like a 20-some yard run from Jones. And as he gets him into the red zone, it's a career high at this point from Jones, who's running his ass off. He goes over 100 yards, already over 200 at this point passing, now over 107 rushing yards. Giants can't get in the end zone, can't extend the drive, but with a 1:04 left, Gano kicks a field goal, Giants 23, Jaguars 17. And hang on to your hearts, because you know every single week what these fourth quarters are going to be like. Of course, we would like to be one of these teams that doesn't have to be in these situations. We'd like to just put teams away, but that's not who we are. We don't have the talent level for that right now, but we have nothing but heart, and we have nothing but balls, and it was about to be on display with 1 minute and 4 seconds. I am now panicking. I'm doing all the coaching I can do from my man cave. I'm yelling at the TV, doing everything I possibly can to stop. Jacksonville is getting call after call. And listen, I'm not trying to be one of these guys that creates conspiracies with the refs or tries to bitch about the refs. But I looked at all of my social media and my comments from fans after this drive in particular for the Jaguars. I don't know if Doug Peterson had money he owed somebody or what was going on, but these were some unbelievable, just flagrantly awful horseshit calls on the Giants that allowed the Jacksonville Jaguars to move this ball well back from their own 25 all the way down. Now they're crossing midfield, and they still have to score a touchdown, and obviously an extra point would win the game. And they're getting help after help, but suddenly here at 41 seconds left, it looked like the game was over. I don't even know who got the sack, the sack fumble. But the play was taken back because of a call on holding on Adoree Jackson, which gave the Jaguars another extended play, moves the ball down. And then the next play, I think it was a play or two later, we get fucked again by an interception, which would have been an interception by Moreau, who's had an outstanding season already at cornerback for the Giants, coming out of nowhere. Now with that penalty, the Jags have the ball on the 24 fucking yard line, folks. 24 yard line. Going almost the entire length of the field at this point. Couple plays later. 4th and 15. The Jaguars get the ball converted, get the ball moving because another fucking ghost penalty on the Giants, which gives them the ability with 10 seconds left, 10 seconds to create something of a miracle and rip my heart out. And I know right now, I wrote this down on my notes. I know I'm not completely accurate here because in the moment, I'm screaming, I'm pissing my pants, I'm having 4 heart attacks, 27 aneurysms, and I'm trying to write down notes, and it's not possible. So I don't know how accurate the last few plays here are because I absolutely lost my mind. But what I do know is what happened next is one of those signature plays. You remember, I think it was the 2007 season. The Giants were 0-2. I think we were 0-2. Maybe we're more than that, but it was at the Washington Redskins game, and the Giants had that monumental, huge 4th down stop, which saved their season. They kept crediting and going back to that play as like a play that really inspired the defense at that time and let them know that they can come up in big situations and make key plays. And, last week we saw it with the Kayvon Thibodeau strip sack that sealed the game on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. And holy shit, did we see it again here? 10 seconds left in the game. Trevor Lawrence backs up. And again, they're right here. They're right in the red zone. And all you're thinking of is, wow, he's going to probably try and throw it in the middle of the end zone. And this is going to just rip the heart and soul out of this entire fan base. And that's exactly what Trevor Lawrence attempted, what he tried to do. As he goes back to pass, and I'm blanking right now on who the Jacksonville receiver was, catches the ball right in the middle of the field. Literally 2 yards short of the end zone. He's right at the 1 yard line. He is met by 3 or 4, 5 Giants. I don't even remember who was all in this play. And as a team, in literally a game of inches, you saw the Giants stand up and hold the Jaguars out of the end zone that was just literally inches from their face and was about to be a game-winning play. And that right there, folks, that is the game of inches in football. And with that stop, it gives the Giants a 23-17 win on the road, and they are now a 6-1, and they are now a 6-1 football team. I have no words. I have no words. I am trying to form words and sentences for this podcast. And there is going to be a lot said and talked about and gone over this week. But the heart, it's not cliche, folks. I say it all the time. You hear me talk about it every single week. The heart that this team has. I don't even know if I saw this in 2007. There is a belief amongst these guys who some of them would never even get a shot to get off a practice squad. There is a belief amongst these guys in an elevation that they believe that not only can they play against anybody, but when the moment is its biggest, they don't shrink, they don't walk away from it, they rise up and they make a damn play to win the game. Another come from behind win for the Giants. Another grind out fourth quarter. The fourth quarter of the 2022 season has belonged to the New York Football Giants. And there are so many game balls to pass around here for this team. The whole team deserves the ball. Everybody deserves a little bit of a slice in this victory. Okay? Everybody. You start with Brian Daboll and this Giants coaching staff. Unbelievable. And not only is Brian Daboll headed towards Coach of the Year in his rookie season, this entire staff, this might be the best staff in the National Football League. Who's getting more out of less than this staff? I can't say enough about Daniel Jones. And the offense will show that this was a Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley fourth quarter show. And it absolutely was, because in the fourth quarter, these two just absolutely carried us. But we don't even get to that opportunity in the fourth quarter without the unbelievable, stellar play of our franchise quarterback, Daniel Jones. There is no more talk. There is no more room for a discussion about who he is. He is your franchise quarterback, and in another week, in another game, where he's being told he can't do this and he can't do that, he just takes this team and he leads them down the field, ignores all the bullshit, and just wins. He just wins. But since a lot of people like stats, he had some very nice stats today. Look at Daniel Jones's numbers today. 19 of 30, 63.3% on the day, 202 yards passing, got over the 200-yard mark, 1 touchdown, a QBR rating of 100.2. For the nerds and the stat geeks out there, you are going to overdose on this. You should be hard for a week with this performance. And he's just doing it with his offensive line falling apart. Saquon Barkley, another stellar day. Grinded out all game long. The Jaguars have a very stout defense. They shut Barkley down for the most part till the fourth quarter. That's why this was Jones. This might have been Jones's signature win. And we keep saying it. I keep saying it every single week because he's continuing to elevate the bar for himself. He's already elevating the guys around him that have no business being here. But Barkley, 24 carries, 110 yards. Daniel Jones, 107 rushing yards and a touchdown. 2 touchdowns total on the day. 1 through the air, 1 on his legs. Unbelievable. 309 yards of total offense from Daniel Jones. And they look at the way the ball was spread out in receiving class here. Wan'Dale Robinson once again becoming a massive target for Daniel Jones. 6 receptions, 50 yards. Darius Slayton coming back from the dead with that early touchdown. 3 receptions, 58 yards. Barkley receiving 4 receptions, 25 yards. And the list goes on. You had Myrick, 2 receptions, 21 yards. Seals, 1 catch, 19. Breida, 1 catch, 14. Ballinger before he came out, 1 catch, 13 yards. And Richie James, 1 catch, 2 yards. And Marcus Johnson, we'll see what happens with him, but he came up flat today. Absolutely flat. And we can go over stats all week long about this key statistics where the Giants rank right now in the 2022 season. But the biggest stat that matters most is in the win column. Right now, the Eagles were off this week in the NFC East, so they remain at 6-1. And the Giants now move to 6-1 as the Cowboys keeping pace. They beat the Lions today. That cushion, the Giants, this would have been a game the Giants would have been kicking themselves all damn year. If they would have lost this game today, and a game that they had multiple chances to win, and knowing that this race in the East is so tight that you can't afford to go down to Jacksonville and drop one. A sign of a good team is that you do not play down to your competition. We have played up for the last few weeks. We took the Jaguars' best shot in what many would have called a trap game. We weren't even favored to win this game. But there we are, in the thick of it, for everything. We've now crossed the 6-win mark. I'm not going to talk playoffs until we get to that 9-win mark, till it's guaranteed. But again, folks, 2 winnable games coming up here before things get a little tougher. But the Giants, every game is tough. But next week, the Giants go to Seattle at a team that's right now 3-3 as we talk right now. But, you know, they play tough up there. Geno Smith, we already gone over that before. Then we get a nice bye week. Hopefully heal up, get some guys back. We did lose Azeez to the IR, and he's now going to be gone for at least the next 4 games. But some of these other guys hopefully can come back. Again, we'll update. The updates for this game's injury report will be out there by the time this podcast already hits. So when I get the week rolling here in the middle of the week, when we drop the next episode, we'll be discussing and further how much longer these guys are going to be out. But you look at the next 3 games: at Seattle, bye week, home against the Texans, and home against the Lions before the big Thanksgiving showdown in Dallas. So, folks, look, it's quarter at a quarter. It is game by game. But there is nothing but love and pride for this New York Football Giants team. You have every right to say out loud that your New York Giants can beat anybody. You can't tell me, watching the way this team figures out a way to play at being 50. A stat I put out today: the Giants are the 3rd most injured team in the National Football League through 7 weeks now of the season. And they have the 2nd best record in the National Football League through that time span. This is a very, very good team, a very well-coached team. You will not find bigger heart and balls than the New York Football Giants. So this is going to be an amazing week. The love for this Giants team is at an all-time high. This is a special run we are on. And week after week, tomorrow, another Victory Monday. 4 games in a row. That's who we are. That's the New York Football Giants now. So I hope you've enjoyed today. Let it sink in. We're going to let this one just marinate for a while because it feels fucking great to once again prove everybody wrong. You will catch me all week. The reaction videos, trust me, you do not want to miss these. Coming out tonight, tomorrow, already starting to roll out as we're talking right now. You'll hear me again on Wednesday night, Thursday morning, as we go into week 8 with the latest edition of the Chuck Knoxx Show, and of course the hype video Friday night, heading into another round. This time the hype video for the Seattle Seahawks as we go into week 8. Week after week, just grinding away. You know my schedule. You know where to find me. YouTube and Facebook at Mr. Chuck Knoxx. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, wherever, at Chuck Knoxx. I am here all week long, feeding off this amazing run and this amazing fan base who have all rallied around this team as we wait and watch how special this season really is. Let's watch it unfold, and we're going to watch it together. I will see you guys throughout the week. Enjoy the content. Enjoy this week. Tomorrow is Victory Monday. Talk your shit and let them know who you are. You're the best damn team in the National Football League. Eat it, Doug Peterson. Revenge is fucking sweet, and I fucking love it. Until next time, Giants fans, I will see you all real quick. Till then.